What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? You do what I do because you're funny and you can make people laugh? I committed my life to this.
So with a new update that came out on Tuesday for Red Dead Online, if you can call it an update, a 5 gigabyte update with like 3 missions and then 3 quote-unquote new missions, which are actually variations, I actually decided to actually play the update since I saw everybody else, saying nothing but good things about it. Am I right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you guys do go on and enjoy the video, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. It really helps out the channel. So part of this new quote-unquote update, it adds 3 new missions relating to the 7th generation Colt. I'm pretty sure this is the Colt from the new Hanover bounty board for the Infamous bounties, but they never mentioned anything in any cutscenes. There are no cutscenes for these missions, so we'll be playing that today. If you're interested in this update, they also added some new Telegram location to existing Telegram missions, and you can now launch Telegram missions from the player menu or from your camp lockbox, which is fantastic quality of life update we've been asking for years now. I've always wanted to launch my Telegram missions from the camp lockbox or from the player menu. That's just fantastic. Thank you so much, Rockstar, for your hard, dedicated work on this game and ever expanding it so much. Before I started the new Telegram missions, I wanted to check out my coupons in the player menu, and they're all pretty useless. Like, yeah, I totally need a third Lament revolver after I have 2 already that I dual wield with. I totally need a third one. Thank you, Rockstar. This coupon will do me so well. 50% off, as if I don't have like $70,000 in the game already. Thank you so much. So I spawn into my camp, and I see that my camp is at the same location that your camp was at in story mode in chapter 3 of the story at Clemens Point. A lot of people say a Horseshoe Overlook was the best camp in story mode, but honestly, I think Clement Points is like the best one. I just like having the pier, having the vibe of the lake right there. The sunset, it looks very nice to me, and that was my favorite part of the game because everyone seems to be happy at that part of the game. But no more talk about story mode. That was actually a good game. We're talking about Red Dead Online, the mediocre cousin. So yeah, let's go ahead and start these Telegram missions. The first Telegram mission out of the 3 for the Skeldings contract is called In Bad Faith, and there's very little information given, and there's no cutscene to explain what we're doing exactly. We just got objectives to do. And these Telegram missions can be done with other players, but you can do them by yourself. But I was under the impression when I first started this mission that it was forced co-op, which is not always a great idea for any Rockstar mission. Anybody who's done heists with randoms in the 2015 heist for GTA Online would know that forced co-op is not a really great idea. Ride past the other players because it looks like they're both AFK. The objective is to catch the cult members that's in Saint Denis, so it's essentially a reskin of a bounty mission. This is basically a watered down bounty mission, except you don't need a bounty hunter license. So this is good for beginners, I guess, but it's a pretty generic, really lazy mission. The bounty, the cultists wasn't that hard to find, and they didn't put up much of a fight when I did lasso them. One of the players I'm playing with in this mission comes over to help me, and I put the cultist on the back of his horse as I'm getting shot at cops, because the cops are assuming that we're kidnapping this lady, when in reality she's a part of a homicidal cult. So we're doing like his job for him, but thanks, I guess. And of course, the player that I give the cultist to dies, leaving us with 0 lives left, meaning if someone else dies next, then we have to restart the mission. So that's fantastic. As I make my way to the next target, the same player dies again. At this point, I was getting flashbacks from 2015 when I did the prison break heist with randoms. We restart and we successfully get the first target. I quickly find the second target, and he's shooting at me, so I have to be very careful not to kill him on accident. So I kill everybody else around him, and then I go ahead and lasso him. And me and the 2 other players have to fight off all these bodyguards protecting him. To my horse, where I got the first target on my horseback, and I prepare to run off when I notice that a horde of cops, infinite spawning cops, come over. So I was left with no choice but to retaliate with my dynamite arrows, because these cops are very ruthless, because this is on a hard difficulty, so you can't lock on to anybody. And not only can you not lock on to anybody in these missions, but also when you shoot them 3 times in the chest with a repeater, it really doesn't do any damage. So I was better off just using my dynamite arrows, honestly. We're taking out the cops. Because my horse is absolutely worthless, it doesn't know how to jump over small barriers, it crashes into the fence, sending me flying off my horse, and same with the target flying off the horse's back. And as I'm trying to put the target back on the horse, I'm getting shot at by cops, and I try to equip my pistol to shoot back at them. Of course, I eventually just get murdered by the cops because I'm doing their job for them. Apparently, they don't like that. And I died, but it's no big deal because we already delivered the other target. Quickly make my way back to the original target. Hopefully, one of the other players I was playing with put the target on my horseback, so that was nice of them. I really appreciate that. Although that did help, I still don't appreciate Rockstar with this random matchmaking where I'm paired up with randoms. I just don't appreciate that. I'd rather have done this on my own, but I appreciate you if you're watching this, if you see this video. Highly doubt it. Thank you. So we make it to our destination, and I deliver the target inside the house. And then after I deliver the target inside the house, a very awkward cutscene plays. I won't even call it a cutscene. There's no dialogue. I don't even think there's any music playing. There's nothing. Nobody talks. Nobody's saying anything to each other. We're just awkwardly walking out of the house, and it looks like it's in cinematic mode instead of like an actual like in-game camera that the developers have access to. It just looks extremely awkward. And then out of nowhere, the cops spawn and they start attacking us, and we gotta deliver these targets to the destination. And after I deal with the cops, I jump on the wagon, and I'm trying to get the other player to get on the wagon with me, but they'd rather stay behind. So I'm like, okay, every man for themselves at that point. So I get on the wagon and I take it to the destination, and on my way there, they just magically spawn right next to me on the wagon, which is pretty weird, but you know, that's Rockstar for you. And on our way to the destination, we had to fight endless waves of cops. Eventually, the cops stop following us, and we make it to the destination. Paid a whopping $22. If you want to fight cops you can't lock onto, if you want to play with incompetent players, and if you want to rip your hair out fighting endless waves of cops and make $22, these missions are for you. The second Telegram mission actually involves Lee Skelding, who I guess is in charge of this contract, and I genuinely didn't know who Skelding was until this mission, until I saw this character model. I'm like, oh, it's that guy from that one mission from the better missions called Land of the Opportunity missions. And the voice actor does not return. It's basically just reused dialogue from those missions previously. Again, there is zero explanation of what the cult is doing and why he wants to stop them particularly. You just have to follow him on the slowest horse in the game. You gotta follow this guy, and he's going like 5 miles per hour. And because Rockstar just enjoys challenging their players, they made it so where we can't see any of the NPCs on the minimap. So I had to basically scout out the camp with my binoculars to see where all the enemies were at. And I was given the option to shoot them with a gun or take them out with a bow and arrow. And I thought it'd be easier to take them out with a bow and arrow. I killed a few, and then somehow, some way, I get detected like 5 miles per hour. And because Rockstar just enjoys challenging their players, they made it so where we can't see any of the NPCs on the minimap. So I had to basically scout out the camp with my binoculars to see where all the enemies were at, and I was given the option to shoot them with a gun or take them out with a bow and arrow. And I thought it'd be easier to take them out with a bow and arrow. I killed a few, and then somehow, some way, I get detected because the stealth in this game is completely broken. This is not your Assassin's Creed game. This is not your Agent 47 Hitman game. No, this is a generic Rockstar game. They've been using the same formula for their video games for the past 20 years, so obviously their stealth is not gonna be perfect. But Jesus, man, like, this is a 2018 game. This game is fairly new, and the stealth is just pathetically broken. And for some reason, again, no elaboration, fireworks are going off. I guess that would like explain, like, oh, if you want to shoot the enemies instead of using bow and arrows, the fireworks will cover your gunshots. But at the same time, it's like, why are they going off? Like, it's not July anymore. They're out the camp, and I have to follow him on foot instead of the slow ass horse he was on. And this is the part where you notice that they're using old dialogue. I don't think they're using the same exact dialogue. I'm pretty sure they're using like a different cut of the dialogue. So they're using cut dialogue, but to make it seem like it's newer so they don't seem completely cheap. Come on, it's pretty obvious that they're reusing cut dialogue for this mission.
We take them here or we let them pass. I don't mind leaving them.
So I do end up killing them instead of letting them pass because, you know, where's the fun in that? Surprisingly, the gunshots didn't you know, alert the enemies, which makes no sense because somehow I alert the enemies when I use a bow and arrow, but when I use an actual gun, it doesn't. But okay, I'm not gonna complain. And then we go to another campsite in the back of Blackwater. Use my bow and arrow, take out the first few enemies. Somehow, some way, I get detected. Again, broken stealth. Rockstar, come on. I'm just so glad they didn't make that agent game, because that agent game was supposed to be a stealth game, and Rockstar literally does not know how to do stealth with their games. So because Rockstar has broken stealth, I'm over here fighting for my life, ducking and covering, trying to consume tonics to refill my health. After I refill my health, I continue to take out enemies with Lee at the camp. And there's an out-of-bounds feature in this mission. An open world game has an out-of-bounds feature. So that makes no sense. This just tells you how bad Rockstar's mission design is. I'm like 2 feet out of bounds. Like, anybody could have done that. And I started to get this countdown that I need to go back into the area, which is very stupid. Then me and Lee take out the last few enemies. This one guy's on the roof, and I just took him out. And then we run into Blackwater. Just like Red Dead Online servers, the streets of Blackwater are empty. It's not explained why the streets are empty. Is this like a scenario like Far Cry 5 where the Colts take over the town? I don't know. They don't explain. There's no elaboration. There's some more cult members who gotta take out inside of this saloon. So I go ahead and throw my fire bottle inside the saloon, and the fire bottle does nothing effectively. Thankfully, none of the cult members inside of the saloon are actually armed, so this makes it like 10 times easier to take them out. If you do this mission, just be careful though. They do have knives, and once you get hit by a knife in Red Dead, it's like a one-hit kill. And then we make it towards the pier in front of Blackwater, where there's more cult members or gang members, whatever you want to call it. Shoot one of them in the head, and it alerts everybody. But back when I did it about 2 minutes ago to the patrol guy, and I shot him in the head, it did nothing. Like, do these fireworks cover gunfire or not? Like, what's the point of the fireworks? Why are there fireworks? It's not the 4th of July, it's September. So then that leads to a big gunfight with all the cultists in Blackwater. The objective at this point is to take the wagon. Apparently the wagon is like holding drugs or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think that it's like for the drugs for their the cult ceremonies, which is a cool idea to see. It would be cool to see a cutscene involving that, but they never elaborate on that, of course, because this is a thrown together mission. And again, there's infinite waves of enemies chasing us. I was shooting them at first, and then I realized, you know what, this is just a waste of time. If I can drive the wagon fast enough, they can't catch up anyways. So we make our way to the drop-off point. Get paid an abysmal $22. With the time I spent with that mission, I could have done like 2 stranger missions and a bounty mission, and that would have been like 60 bucks right there. These Telegram missions are terrible for money. Maybe if they're double money, that would be different, but they're not double money right now. So if you're gonna do these missions for money, you're gonna have a bad time. So the Telegram missions, after you complete one of them, there's a 12-minute cooldown until you can do the next one. So I cleaned my guns, I refilled on ammunition, refilled on tonics, and then after I do all that, I go to see how much time I have left to do the next Telegram mission. And it tells me I have 0 minutes left, but it does not give me the option to click on the mission and play it. The mission is grayed out. Of course, with Rockstar, this is expected. So at this point, I go and find a new lobby to join to see if that helps. Hopefully it does. And the final mission is in Tumbleweed. My objective for this mission is go to the saloon in Tumbleweed. And once you get in this saloon, you have to start a bar fight with these enemies that are marked on the minimap. So I go up to this guy in the red shirt and I punch him first. Think it's gonna be a fair fight, you know, I thought he was fight these guys one at a time, but of course not. This lady behind me decided to punch me from behind.
Anybody else, nigga, I got jumped in LA by some pussy ass niggas, and they jumped me, nigga. Nobody gave me the faith of a one-on-one, nigga. Nobody gave me the respect of a one-on-one, and I painted that nigga when he was on the ground. Just to let y'all know why they jumped me, pussy ass niggas.
The longest bar fight ever ensued after that. I'm fighting 4 people at the same time. Keep in mind that I had to edit this down for YouTube, of course. I didn't want to make this too long. And I edited it to no more than 2 minutes. And I believe the original fight was actually like 6 minutes, actually. Fighting this game is actually really entertaining. It's one of my favorite features of this game is how not realistic the fighting is, how like, I guess in depth the mechanics are. You know, you can just grab them, you grapple them, you can push them, you can choke them, you can block, you can, you know, do all this cool stuff. And like with GTA, they just fight like bitches, and I just love that. And eventually, with no actual dialogue, the game like implies they tell you where the cult member is hiding. So, you know, to assert my dominance, I steal one of their hats and I ride off to where the cult member is hiding out at. The cult member is hiding out over here at this ranch. The ranch is filled with goats and chickens. I'm over here thinking, bro, where are these animals when I'm in free roam, when I'm hunting? You know, the trader roll sales is double money this month, so like, where are these animals at when I come over here when I'm hunting? Like, come on. But I do have to be careful in this shootout because 1, I don't want to kill the target, and 2, these people are really accurate with their gunshots. They're using very powerful weapons, so I gotta be very careful. I'm hiding behind these crates, moving up every time they're reloading or every time I kill a good amount of them. I eventually find the cult leader. He rides off on a horse, and I didn't have enough time to call in my horse, so I steal this horse that's parked right here. I lasso him up, and then I put on horseback and I ride off. And these cult members are really determined to get their cult leader back because this dude literally some kind of pit maneuver with his horse onto my horse. I end up crashing into him. I end up flying off my horse. I guess the crash killed him though. Pick up the cult leader, and as I'm picking him up, I get shot in the back. Absolute groundbreaking mission design on Rockstar's part. I managed to kill the guys who killed me. I get back on my horse with the target, and I take it to the destination. And with this mission, got paid $25. That's $3 more than the other 2 missions. So this mission is the most rewarding mission, but it's only a $3 difference. And that was the Lee Skeleton contract. This is the Telegram missions that Rockstar said we'd be getting later this year, and we got them. And this is going to be probably the only set of Telegram missions we're going to get for the rest of the year, probably. So take it all in. This is going to be the last update for Red Dead Online, most likely, because they said so in Newswire. There's going to be no more big updates. They just drop these half-assed, thrown together at like the last-minute Telegram missions that involve no voice acting, no cutscenes, absolutely terrible payout, and they're gonna call that an update. And keep in mind, this amazing open-world game was abandoned for this.
Boy, what the fuck going on in Miami, bro? No, shit, that shit just disappeared.
I hope you guys did go on and enjoy this video. A like and a comment would be appreciated. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I had a lot of fun making this, you know. I like doing these like post-commentary videos over my gameplay. But yeah, with all that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.